Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kat, and this is my channel. And if you've been here before and or you're an apparently I can't talk. You're an existing subscriber. Thank you. I really appreciate it, especially to the most recent subscribers, so thank you. Um, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a sweater and socks in the middle of July when it's like 90 degrees out, it's because my air conditioner is on and I'm freezing. Not to mention I have fans going on in every room and I'm freezing. So yeah, I'm sensitive to the cold and sensitive to the heat. So apparently my body can't make up its mind. All right, well, so let's get into today's video. So I wanted to come on here and do hopefully a short video of about a condition that I have going on with my brain. Anyone who has watched any of my actual videos on this channel has probably noticed that my eyes move. They don't move properly, and that's because it's basically the direct result of a brain condition. Not a vision condition, a brain condition. And the name of the condition is nystagmus. There's two types of nystagmus: congenital nystagmus, which is what I have, and basically it is what it is. It's nystagmus that you were born with. And then there is acquired nystagmus, which is basically acquired, meaning you somehow developed the condition sometime after birth. I just thought I'd come on here again in case anyone noticed the interesting eye movement situation. Yeah, I feel like I am obligated to say something, and it kind of bothers me because I don't have to explain myself, but part of me feels like I have to, because I've been put in a position where I'm forced to. So hence the reason we're doing this video. I've tried to film this a couple of times, didn't like any of it, and I just kept getting frustrated. So we're just doing it now, and whatever I get is what I'm posting. So like I said, nystagmus is a brain condition. It's strictly neurological. The condition has to do with the part of your brain that is unfortunately connected and supposed to control the muscles in your eyeballs. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with, people. It sucks. It's annoying. it's very debilitating. So that's the connection between the visual system, is that part of the brain, and it's, I believe it's the middle part of your brain that apparently that is connected to the muscles inside your eyes and make sure that they move in the way they're supposed to all the time. Yeah, like I said, I've had this from birth. It is very debilitating, and unfortunately, it does affect your vision, because of the abnormal movement of your eyes. So that's just the way that it manifests itself, even though it's not a vision condition, it manifests itself visually because the muscles in your eyes are going haywire because they're not being controlled by the part of your brain that's connected to them, and therefore doesn't work, or not very well. So basically that part of the brain that's connected to my eye muscles isn't sending the correct message to my eye muscles to consistently calm down all the way, or move properly to the point where they can calm down and stay focused, if that makes sense. So it's a muscle condition. It's basically a neurological / muscular issue. Personally, I really hate the fact that it holds your vision back, which really is difficult because, like I said, it's not technically an actual vision problem. So you'd think that they'd figure it out. So yeah. And here I go rubbing my eyeball because it itches. Yeah. Fun stuff. Basically, if you have this condition, you're not blind. Most people that I have, actually don't really know a whole lot of people who have nystagmus, and if I do, they can see. I think that there people have a really hard time understanding what it's like for somebody with nystagmus, because most sighted people aren't dealing with a muscle condition, an eye muscle condition, well, a brain condition, which makes it difficult for your eye muscles to work properly, and then doesn't allow you to focus very well in every situation. I don't think a lot of people understand how or how people with nystagmus are even able to see, but I don't know. In my book, it doesn't matter. If you have eyesight, you can see. You're sighted. I don't care. Like, even if society and the medical community deems you as low vision or whatever, you can see. You just may not see as well as the average sighted person, but you can see, and you should be acknowledged as sighted, which is something that most people do not do. And in my book, that's wrong. But that's just me. And that's my opinion. And that's pretty much based off of my whole life experience. So, yeah. So there is treatments for this condition. There isn't an actual, well, they say, they mean me being the doctors and the medical community and society says that there's no actual true cure or true way of reversing nystagmus. However, there are treatments. There are, I'd say maybe like a good 10 to 12 treatments, and that's kind of pushing it. I mean, that is kind of pushing it, but yes, there is a good, at least definitely there's a good 6 to 8 treatments for congenital nystagmus or even acquired nystagmus. 10 or 12 is, like I said, kind of pushing it, but most treatments for this condition are mostly strictly vision based because they focus on improving your eyesight instead of addressing and treating the actual root cause of the condition. But it's better than nothing. Something's better than nothing. So so types of treatments for this condition are first of all glasses. Some people have built-in prisms in their glasses. I had built-in prism. I'm pretty sure the glasses that I had for like reading and close up when I was in grade school, I'm almost positive they had built-in prisms because they were seriously like they were like the classic Coke bottle glasses, and I hated them as a kid, but now I would kill for them. Now I wouldn't even give a shit. I would just put them on. I wouldn't care if I looked funny or if I looked like I had bug eyes. I would just put them on. Contact lenses are also a good valid treatment for nystagmus, and actually, in my experience, contact lenses are actually better than glasses because they go onto your actual eyeballs and don't sit in front of your face, don't sit on your face in front of your eyes. So there's like I guess you could say a biofeedback situation going on with the contact lenses, and that is a really good thing because the slower your contacts slow your eyes down, the better you're able to focus, and the better you're able to focus, the better you're able to see. So naturally, it's kind of a given that contact lenses are valid treatment for nystagmus. Another treatment for nystagmus involves surgery, specifically, what is it? Strabismus surgery. Strabismus surgery is done on people who are cross-eyed, which is another condition involving your eye muscles. So if your eye muscles cross inward or go outward, it's called strabismus, and it's a different type of eye muscle condition. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but you can have strabismus surgery to correct it or improve it. And even if you have nystagmus like me, strabismus surgery is in fact a valid treatment for congenital nystagmus. And basically what strabismus surgery is that they cut the muscles in your eyes and then reattach them. I have had the surgery. I had this surgery in my late 20s. It worked beautifully. And then little by little, I think the part of my brain that doesn't function, that has to do with, that doesn't function properly because of nystagmus, I think it just kind of rejected the changes over time. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't consider it again. I should have had oh, that's my cat. In case you're wondering, she's adorable. She has to get in on the action because she's adorable and she wants everyone to know how cute she is. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, strabismus surgery is basically they cut the muscles and then they reattach the muscles. And basically what that is supposed to do is trick the part of your brain that doesn't work into thinking that the changes are what's normal instead of abnormal. So I should have had the surgery when I was little. I was never given the opportunity to have it when I was really little. And the younger you are, they say, the better the long-term results are. Like, so, but yes. Another form of treatment for nystagmus is oral medications. Specifically, from what I've heard, mostly medications that are for chronic pain, which is kind of bizarre. But for example, one medication that's used for nystagmus is gabapentin. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. If anyone knows the correct word, feel free to put it in the comments, but that's the best I can do with that name of that particular medication. I'm not opposed to taking any meds to treat my nystagmus, but I also don't really want to take another oral medication on top of the others that I already have. So if I can avoid it, I will. But if it's absolutely necessary, okay, fine. I'll take meds if I need to. But I'd really rather not. There's some other treatments for nystagmus. Another one is vision therapy. And it's basically training your brain and your eyes to work together. Because for somebody like me and a lot of other people, your brain and your eyes don't work together all the time. Or I don't know, and maybe in some off the wall extreme cases, some people may experience their brain and their eyes never working together at all, which sucks, but yeah. I have looked into it, and I am I'm actually really for it. I've never really done it, but again, I have never really been given the opportunity to do vision therapy or audio-visual therapy over my life, because my doctors probably either didn't know about it, or if they did, they probably had the attitude of, it's not gonna work. And if it does, then it's not gonna like dramatically improve your situation. So why should we do it? But I'm very eager to have it done. I've also heard that red light therapy is also a treatment for, or can be a treatment for, nystagmus. I've never tried it. I would like to try it. Again, I don't know a lot about red light therapy for congenital nystagmus, and definitely I know nothing about red light therapy and acquired nystagmus. So there is recently back in March, there was a brand new treatment that has come out of China, and it's basically an implant called the Ionize, and it's implanted, I don't know, I guess somewhere in your brain, or I would assume your brain, and it uses micro electrical currents, which basically intervene in the pathological rhythm of nystagmus, which is a really, really good thing. So basically, it's sending the message to your eye muscles to work properly, because the part of your brain that's connected to your eye muscles is not doing its job. So the only problem with this treatment is that the only place that it's available is China. I did read an article through Google that said that the FDA is currently evaluating the Ionize implant / treatment in order so that they can go ahead and make it available, FDA approved, and make it available for commercial use, which, thank God, because there are so many people who could seriously benefit from this form of treatment. So yeah, but until the FDA actually approves it, I guess me and a ton of other people are just gonna have to sit on our butts and wait, which is not fun. You shouldn't have to. So there you go. There's various treatments. If you are somebody who's living with congenital nystagmus or acquired nystagmus, please, I highly encourage you to talk to your doctors about treatments that you may not have tried, especially those that you haven't tried, and maybe some treatments that you have tried and you might, I don't know, decide to try it again. You're not going to get better eyesight if you don't ask. That's what I've been told by at least one of my eye care professionals. So if you want better eyesight, and if you want to improve nystagmus in order to be able to see better, you're not going to be able to do that if you don't ask or push and pressure your doctors. And that is extremely important. And especially if you're someone who has never been really given a whole lot of opportunities for treatment, then you really have to push and pressure and ask your eye care professionals for treatment, because that's really important. You have to advocate for yourself, and if you don't advocate and ask for more or better treatment, how can doctors help you better if you don't ask? I mean, they can't exactly read your mind. So you have to make it known that treatment is your number one priority. And that also goes for anyone who doesn't have nystagmus but knows someone or has someone in your life with nystagmus. It's really important to encourage them to try to get treatment and to try to get the best treatment they can possibly get. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to say. So actually, last thing, if you are someone who's living with nystagmus, or you're someone who knows someone who has nystagmus, go ahead and comment in the comment section and tell me your thoughts and feelings and maybe your experience, and yeah, so that's why my eyes don't move properly and look funny, because they move properly. They don't move the way they're supposed to. So alright, well, thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, give it a like, maybe subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Thanks.